This mortgage hack will increase your borrowing capacity by at least $150,000 to $200,000. Now, disclaimer, this does not apply to everybody. This is what it only applies to. It only applies to you if you're in this situationship, just to borrow some Gen Z slogan. So this is you, and many years ago when you were young, you and your sibling or your parents joined forces and purchased an investment property together. And let's say the property that you purchased many years ago was $800K, you guys borrowed 80%, so the loan is $640K. Let's say that was the past. Now let's go to currently. Currently, you're head over heels in love with your potential spouse at the moment, and you guys want to buy a house or a townhouse, villa, whatever it is, for $1 million. Right now, you guys want to borrow 80%, which is $800K, because you have 20% and stamp duty. Then when you're applying for the finance for this property, you hit this thing which was originally there. It's called the massive brick wall. Let's give it a name. Let's call it the serviceability wall. And say one of the big banks that you went with will go, hey, in terms of your liability, I don't care whether you joint forces with your sibling or your parent, we're going to take 100% of this existing debt. So that's $640K. You want to borrow $800K. It doesn't service. At this point, you go back to your girlfriend or your boyfriend and you go, oh, sorry, we can't buy a house together because I can't service. And then your girlfriend, boyfriend leaves your ass. Jokes. No, because he or she watched this TikTok and said, no, Q can help us, because he talked about a hack called Common Debt Reducer Policy, which certain banks have. It's very simple. Certain banks can do it, and I'll show you what the Common Debt Reducer does. Under the Common Debt Reducer, instead of looking at $640K, they can apportion 50% of the parent's loan or the sibling's loan off, and then only use $320K. And also adding on to the existing pre-approval they apply for, which is $800K, this now services. Because if you didn't know about the Common Debt Reducer, and if this bank doesn't support the Common Debt Reducer, they will take a total of 1.440 in terms of lending for your liability. But if you use a bank that uses Common Debt Reducer, they now only use $1,120,000 for your liability instead of 1.440. And essentially, you freed up $320K in serviceability. But here's a disclaimer, guys. Yes, the bank could use 50% of the liability that you and your joint sibling or parent are involved with. Well, they also will only take 50% of the rental income. And also, they'll look at your sibling or parent who has the joint loan with you. They'll look at whether the other borrower can service the debt themselves. And essentially, if you can meet all those conditions, then Bob's your uncle. You can free up your lending capacity. But be warned, not a lot of banks can do this. So if you're in that situation and before you call your love and go, oh, we got declined for a loan, remember to get them to watch this video. Jump in the comments, let me know what you think.